Going into the season, everyone was praising the Celtics. They were one game away from the finals without two of their all-stars in Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving, had budding stars coming up in Jayson Tatum, Rozier and Jaylen Brown, one of the best modern bigs in the league in Al Horford, and one of the best coaches in the league in Brad Stevens. Everyone was making it seem like the Celtics were going to take over the NBA, but here we are 13 games into the season, and the Celtics are only one game above 500, and the tension is definitely rising in the NBA community about this team. Is it time to panic? Are the Celtics overrated? That is exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. But before we get into that, a quick word from the sponsors of this video, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an app that gets prices from all over the web and puts them onto one app, so you can find the best deals for whatever event you want to go to, whether it be a sporting event, a live comedy show, a concert, you name it, they have it. They show you all the available seats and rank them from 1 to 10, 10 being the best deal, and it's going to be marked with a green dot on the map, the worst ones marked with a red dot. And this is an app that I honestly would be using even if they weren't sponsoring this video, because of how easy it is and how useful it is. So once again, shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video, and thanks to them, you guys can use the code BSouls for $20 off your first purchase. If you followed me on Twitter, you would have known that I actually put out my standings predictions for this year prior to the season. And when I did, I put the Celtics at 3 below Toronto and the Sixers, and many people were mad at me, talking about how can you be a Celtics fan? This is the NBA YouTubers y'all be bragging about. But people didn't really pay attention to my reasoning. And the reason I gave was I thought there were too many parts and roles that needed to be managed early in the season for this team to be first seed by season's end. And from the looks of it, my prediction seems right so far. In the first 5 or so games of the season, Kyrie was mightily struggling to find his groove, only averaging 14 points on horrendous efficiency, and right now the offense has been horrible, and the team is having a hard time either A, closing out games, or B, not being blown out in the first half so that they don't have to pull off a miraculous comeback every time to win games. But why exactly is the offense having such a tough time? From what I've been seeing, the biggest concern that this team is facing is the concern that I've always had since Jayson Tatum really emerged last year due to Hayward's absence, and that is the balancing act that Brad Stevens has to do with the 3 wings now that Gordon Hayward is back in Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and Gordon Hayward. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown have proven that they are budding stars and starter caliber players in the league, and Gordon Hayward has proven that he can be an all-star in the West and is getting paid roughly $30 million a year till 2021. All 3 of them are really capable of being the second best player on this team next to Kyrie, but the hierarchy hasn't really been established yet on who is going to be that guy. And since no one really knows their role yet, and no one knows when and where they can get their shots, and you add that on top of Hayward trying to ease his way back in from his horrific injury, and Jayson Tatum trying to build off of last year and trying to show that he is the superstar that people thought he was, it just results in a whole lot of mess. Brad Stevens has been tasked to try to find a balance in trying to continue the development of Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum while trying to unlock the full potential of a guy they're paying $30 million a year for as he's coming back from an injury. But now you add the fact that Marcus Morris is playing out of his mind and has been arguably the Celtics' best wing so far, and now all of a sudden you have to balance the roles of 4 wings that play the same position and are all proving or have proven that they are starting caliber players in the NBA. So is it time to panic for Celtics fans? Look man, I'm chilling right now because I expected this. But for those of you who were expecting a 60+ win season and an onslaught in the regular season, it's time to come back down to earth. Here's the reality of the Celtics situation. Despite us beating the 76ers without our 2 all-stars last year, you can't expect the same outcome this year now that they have Jimmy Butler. The Milwaukee Bucks are a different beast this year, and so are the Toronto Raptors with Kawhi Leonard. The Boston Celtics are a team that is still capable of being the best team in the East, and in my opinion, by the end of the season, come playoff time, they will be closer to the team we were all expecting. But to expect this team to be gunning out the gate, with all the adjustments and roles they have to manage, with Kyrie and Hayward coming back from an injury, with them only playing 4 home games so far, and having the hardest schedule in the league so far, is just far from realistic. So Boston fans, don't panic just yet. There is still a lot of season left, but at the same time, acknowledge that right now, this team is not that good. But I will say, however, that even by season's end, even if everything goes right for the Celtics, the East is not the same as last year. While it may seem like the same teams from last year, many teams in the East have made some under the radar moves that have made the whole conference the strongest it's been in almost over 8 years. You have the 76ers going all in by trading for Jimmy Butler with another year of development from Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. You have the Toronto Raptors, who once again traded for Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion a massive upgrade from DeMar DeRozan, and Danny Green, who was low-key having a career year from 3 while giving you all NBA caliber defense. You have the Pacers, who signed Tyreke Evans. Domantas Sabonis is making some great strides this year, and Oladipo is continuing his progression as arguably the best guard in the East. And yes, I said that, but mind you, I said arguably. The Bucks, I mean, they're looking like a whole different beast this year with Mike Budenholzer at the helm. Look, all I'm saying is this is not the cakewalk that people were expecting it was going to be for the Celtics this year. But regardless, this is a team that even after all of that is still expected to make a finals run, and not making the finals will still be considered a failure for this team, considering that the talent that they have. But with that being said, if you like the video, make sure to, like the video and subscribe for more content from this channel. I got some nice videos coming up soon. If you follow me on Twitter, I did tell you guys that the Nick Wright video got taken down, so I will be remaking that soon. So subscribe if you want to see that. Follow me on Instagram at bsouls and Twitter at thebsouls to stay up to date on all news in the NBA and on the channel. But with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I am out. Peace.